All right, everyone. Today is a very special stream. We actually get to talk to a very special guest. Now presenting Justin!
Thank you.
Oh, my Lanta, Justin, a lead designer from Moon Crab Games. Thank you so much for joining us today on this extremely busy day of yours. We have some guests from the Kickstarter page and from people who are interested in Leviathan Wilds, and then also from my community as well. And some people are new to board games. Some people, So first of all, before I say hello to chat, why don't you tell us who you are, just in case people have no idea who you are?
Sure thing. I'm Justin Kempinen. I'm a 10, 11 something year veteran of the tabletop industry. I used to Fantasy Flight Games and Z-Man Games. I worked as a designer and manager for both companies. I did a bunch of design work on Descent 2nd Edition. Imperial Assault was my first major project. I redesigned Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game, a bunch of other things. I ran the department at FFG that did the Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition, Journeys in Middle-earth, the app for Descent, and a bunch of other narrative-focused games. So,
I recently played Descent, but I don't know if it's the one you worked on. I played Descent Legends of the Dark.
Legends of the Dark, yeah.
Did you work on that one too?
Not directly. It was in sort of the... it was in development when I transferred from Fantasy Flight Games over to Z-Man Games. So I was in some of the early meetings and discussions for it, but I didn't actually get any hands-on time in that one.
Wow. Okay. Well, awesome. That was my first time playing a, I guess that's called a tabletop, almost like a tabletop RPG game. Is that what it'd be? That was my first time playing a type of game like that, and I loved it. It was so cool. Critter Nation, good to see you. Meeple says Mansions of Madness is one of my favorites.
Mine too.
So before I say hello to chat, one more question. Now that you worked on all these board games, do you have a favorite board game, whether it's one that you designed or one just you always love playing or showing people, or one that you grew up playing and you absolutely love?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I think my favorite board game is probably Marvel Champions.
Okay.
I got, a childhood with comic books. I'm a fan of the MCU, even when it sucks. So
I love the MCU as well. I have yet to see Ant-Man, but the newer Ant-Man, but it just came out on Disney Plus. So that'll be easy to see now. And then also the new Guardian just came out on May 5, which is Friday. So I still have time. I could see it in theaters if I want to. But are you gonna see it? Are you gonna commit to this Kickstarter for the next? When is it go until June 9? Was it June 9?
June 1st.
June 1st. Okay.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I haven't gone to the movie theater too much. We took the family to see Mario, and that was the first movie we've seen in forever.
Oh, you did not you just triggered peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just had to get that out. Okay, no. Okay, I have yet to see the movie, but that song is everywhere.
I have a 6-year-old son, and during the end sequence of the film, he jumped up on his chair and was leaping up and down, so excited by what was going on.
That would be cute to see in a movie theater. If I saw a kid do that, I'd be like, oh, that is so cute. See someone into a movie.
I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get a picture of this. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm in a movie theater.
It's okay. Embrace the moment. I get some people who run Kickstarters, and are you 100% behind the scenes this Kickstarter? Do you have anyone else helping you? How long did it take you to prepare? How are you doing emotionally and physically and mentally today? This is day 1.
Yeah. So Moon Crab Games is 3 people. Myself and 2 other folks who have the same level of experience. We all left Z-Man Games, Asmodee, etc. roughly the same time, and so we've got this wonderful split between our focuses are business, game design, and art and graphic design and all that stuff. So we got a great team. I'm also kind of stubbing in as the marketing guy, building all the assets, the pages, all those sorts of things, taking all the wonderful art that our artist creates, and then jamming it into the Kickstarter narrow window, which has been the bane of my existence for, to answer your other question, probably the last 2 months.
Oh my
Of
goodness.
just different. I mean, it's not constant because I'm still making a game on the other end of things, but a lot of just like, okay, let's see. Should we do this section here, or should it come down lower? What's the higher priority here? And so just kind of slowly wrangling things together while all of the like visual assets continue to improve and improve, and then writing some copy and then looking at it and saying, is that saying what I want to about this particular thing? Is that gonna really tickle people's brains? So yeah, I think we probably started properly preparing the campaign about 2 months ago.
Okay. Our before we switch to review the Kickstarter as well, just want to give a huge shout out to Meeple Conrad. Meeple Conrad designed the Starting Soon motion graphic and this Just Chatting overlay. The QR code actually works and brings you to a Kickstarter page, and then also the following gameplay overlay. So Meeple, thank you so much for your wonderful graphic design work. We have the page up, and I'm going to quickly go through it. And if anyone has any questions, now's your time to ask. Maybe, which tier should I back? So I actually noticed here, I'm not going to play the movie here, but first of all, I saw some people, Chainlink says, back this early looks terrific in Kickstarter round 2. So Chainlink did say round 2. I know someone in my community was asking on my Discord, maybe what is the difference between maybe round 1 and round 2, if you want to call it round. I'm not sure the proper term for that.
So the shortest version of the story is that Kickstarter crowdfunding independent studio creation is very, very hard. We ran a Kickstarter for this game, for Leviathan Wilds, in July of last year. The game at that point, we had 6, I think, Leviathans made, with a bunch more in prototype phases, and we were like, this game's really cool. We want to see how we can do bringing this to people's attention. And what ended up happening is that our results were not quite what we were looking for. We hadn't built our like business plan behind the scenes to sustain the trajectory that we were on, and ultimately we were getting a lot of feedback about some of the pieces of the game, whether like to have a campaign, a progression-based campaign in the game was a big part of it. A lot of people were concerned about the variety that the game might have. Only seeing 6 Leviathans, they're like, well, at the time we're going to do 20. Are the other 14 going to be very interesting, or is it just going to be the same thing over and over again? So what we did is we made the very agonizing decision to cancel funding and kind of take the game back under development and design to improve upon the things that people were really concerned about. And we now have prior to this point, there was a little bit of light deck building, almost LCG-ish, but in a much more constrained fashion. That's been replaced with a much more simple, like shuffle building, like smash up type of thing, where you choose one climber and one class, you mix them together, and you get your play experience. The campaign has been reduced to focus entirely on like really, really effective, highly replayable one-off games. So you're able to just choose whatever Leviathan. You grab that spiral-bound book and you flip it open to whatever looks the coolest to you, and you play against that, shuffle, build your deck, and then you have a really good time in about an hour or so, and then you can put it back on the shelf. In particular, like the thing we hear all the time, at least in terms of like a campaign game, is people keep playing the same, like the intro tutorial scenario or the first 3 scenarios over and over and over again. And what we really want to show is we want to show this versatility of the game, where you can just play any one of them and have an incredibly good time. You can show it to a new player. You probably get wrecked a little bit if you don't introduce them slowly, but that doesn't even necessarily matter as much because there's no long-term stakes. You don't have to worry about trying to get the same group together over and over again. And that was really just suiting the way that the game plays too. It's so fast-paced. Turns go by very, very quickly. The overall experience, like we play the thing in 40 minutes. I mean, we're of course really experienced with it, but like it's a lot of very fast turns, very tight decision making that just really plays well when you have this nice environment of, here, we'll sit down and play a game, and then we're done. We don't have to worry about getting the group back together next week to keep it going.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that. Johnny, good to see you. Good Night Moon says, how did Justin and his team decide what time it would launch today?
I did some research on the best time to launch a Kickstarter, and the prevailing theory was that you try to go early enough so that you don't miss out on like the UK, but not so late that on a Tuesday people are too deeply invested into work, or maybe they're getting in, like in Eastern time, maybe they're looking at early lunch. In Pacific time, they're looking at just kind of getting started with their workday, and then Central time, they're on their coffee break. There's a Tuesday is sort of the pseudo official launch day. There's a lot of
That's very good to know.
It's a kind of a confirmation bias data that says that more Kickstarter campaigns are successful on Tuesdays, which of course has made everybody launch them on Tuesdays. So now that's unequivocally true. So
wow. Okay.
Why fight the trend, right?
Well, great question. Good Night Moon. Cool Penguin asks, question for Justin: is there any plan to include an acrylic token upgrade for Leviathan Wilds?
That was part of the original campaign, but was it? It was maybe one of the parts of the original campaign. That was a long time ago. At the moment, we don't have any plans for it, but hey, if it's something you're really passionate about, leave a comment in the Kickstarter campaign, shoot us an email, info@mooncrabgames. Just let us know that you're really excited about it, and it's something we can look into. A lot of what goes into any given game, any given thing, is based on the enthusiasm of enough people who want the thing. So please, we're always open to feedback.
Okay, thank you. And Sliver says, question, is there any story or continuity between the Leviathans now, or has that disappeared completely?
So there is some, there's not direct continuity, but there are thematic links that are baked into what the narrative has become at this point. So it's a lot more subtle than it used to be, but I guess if you really, really dig into the story text and the names and titles of certain things, you might start to pick up on some bits and pieces of the overall story. But I've spent a lot of time writing for board games. I've spent a lot of time reading story text in board games, and I always prefer to do the much more subtle approach. Let people build their own stories out of the gameplay itself, and then just kind of let the background context drive how people feel tonally about what they're doing and why. So
okay. Ross says, agonizing over decisions with questionably marginal benefits? You should design a board game. So I'm scrolling through the Kickstarter right now, and I see a discounted price. And I also look at the pledge, and it mentions something about the first, or it's early bird. Can you explain a little bit about that, just in case people are questioning, should I back it now or should I wait towards the end?
I highly recommend you get in there right away. We're doing a early bird pledge of $5 off of what you see as the discounted price there, $54 for the first 24 hours. And that's really what we're trying to do, is we're trying to build early campaign momentum. This might be getting under the hood, but there's so much of how Kickstarter functions baked into how quickly you fund, how many people you have day one, day two. What their website actually shows to people is based on how much momentum you end up having. So in order to really try to reward the people who have been with us since the last one, and who are kind of jumping on board, getting enthusiastic about it right away, and B, to really help push that early funding, we're doing the 24-hour period. So
okay.
If you want it, come on, get in there right away.
Yep.
It's not a huge discount, but it's a little bit, and it's a nice way of us saying thank you, I think.
And you can actually see, let's see. Spell sponsor right there. You go. You can see the Kickstarter link right there. And that's the first link. And that's for what I'm looking at right here. So it also says that it includes certain things. Now, do all the pledges include the same thing? It's just the early bird price is going to be $5 cheaper, or how does that work?
So the bonus stuff that will come with your pledge, everybody gets the wood tokens.
Okay.
And that's an upgrade to the some of the materials that come in the game. Some of the climber and class tokens, some of the climbers and classes use tokens to help track some different effects that they have. So
Okay.
there's that. There's the focus tokens. Everybody gets one of those. It's a mechanic in the game that's used for boosting your like specials and capabilities and such. And then there's also the mutation pack. Now, this is available for people who sign up for our newsletter, which you can find on our website, or there's a link in the mutation pack section. And what that does is like this is our way of saying, if you don't think 15 Leviathans is enough variety, would you prefer there to be 15 additional variants so that you can have what is the math on that? I think it says 255 somewhere in there.
255. Yep.
Yeah, I got a good memory. It's just short. Yeah, so if you're worried about, like, we've designed a whole bunch of really interesting Leviathans, different maps, different layouts, gorgeous art. I can't stress that enough. Bunch of different special rules, but still, like, what really stuck in our craw the last time around was people being worried that there just wasn't going to be variety in the game. And like, I come from making dozens of scenarios for Descent and Imperial Assault and all these games, and I'm like, we can do variety. We can prove that we can do variety, but just in case people really want that extra little bit, here's the mutation pack, and each mutation set in there is a little gameplay variant that you can mix with any Leviathan, and they're all based on Leviathan. So there's a Leviathan called the Watcher who has a flippable open and closed eye, and the mutation for that one is to add a little eyeball token. Well, not an actual eyeball, but little token that represents an eyeball to another Leviathan, that it's going to do more damage to you when it's open, and you can go to it and whack it to close it and that sort of thing. So
Okay. And just in case people don't know, what is a Leviathan?
A Leviathan is a massive creature that lives in this world that's kind of infused with magic and whatnot. And a long time ago, based on the lore of the game, the Leviathans went mad and just destroyed the human civilization, driving everybody else into hiding. Somewhere along the line during that period, the surviving humans discovered that they could cure the Leviathans, that they could heal them. And so now they're reaching back out, trying to heal the Leviathans and reclaim some of the world that was lost to them.
Okay. And that does that kind of correspond with the whole crystals?
Mm-hmm. Yep. The sickness that the Leviathans are suffering from are represented by the crystals throughout their bodies, which in gameplay terms are these little are dice, D6s, that represent the amount of crystal that you need to go and break in order to cure them.
Wow, that's really cool. So you're not trying to kill the Leviathan, you're trying to cure them so that they are nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. I know a lot of games are defeat the monster, not, hey, they're just going through a bad day, we're gonna help them out. Sliver says, are real eyeballs a stretch goal? Thank you, Slivers, for that question. What kind of eyeballs? Are they crab eyeballs?
Along with our Discord channel was joking about real hammers to break the dice and turning it into a legacy game. And,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, we can put some eyeballs in there too. Why not?
Meeple says, I absolutely love the art in this game. The box cover reminded me of Golem Edition of Century. Could you tell us a little bit about the artist or anything you want to say about the art?
Yeah, so the artist is Sam Shimoda, who worked for Fantasy Flight Games and Z-Man Games basically the same time frame as I did. We collaborated on a bunch of projects while working professionally there, and you've seen his graphic design work in games like Star Wars Rebellion, Pandemic Legacy Season 0, Cryo, Mission Red Planet was one of his first major projects, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Citadels, the new edition that Z-Man, well, when it was Windrider, put out, and like he's just been doing incredible artistic work in the industry for over a decade, and this was his real opportunity to just say like this, I get to decide how this looks in collaboration with these other two who are going to work to make the game as good as possible. And then we're going to tie those things together and we're going to iterate and make just a really cool, really beautiful game.
Okay. Thank you so much. And Steve, lovely to see you. So I heard, or I saw somewhere in the comments that there is a playable character called the Kestrel. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah. Kestrel has been a staple of the crew for a very, very long time. And assuming that it's the same Kestrel I've seen in a few different live streams, hey, your namesake continues to be rad.
Wow.
Probably my favorite character in the whole game.
Oh my goodness. Kestrel. That is so wild. And it's wild to hear Justin say Kestrel's name. Like, that's just... And it's referring to the game, not Kestrel, but I'm thinking of Kestrel. That's so funny. Okay, so it says here that, so I just reviewed some of the characters here on screen. It says 7 more to be showcased during this campaign. Can't wait. 14 Leviathans are playable in the Tabletop Simulator open beta right now. Again, that's the link right there. It's the second link, and the open beta is on Steam or Tabletop Simulator. All right, so let me just see. Oh, here's the character right here, Kestrel, an acrobat looking for the next climbing challenge. They blend with audacity with style. So each character has their own special skills. Oh, and that's what you're saying Kestrel is one of your favorite. That's cool. That's really neat. So you can even try the same Leviathan with different characters. So there's a ton of replayability there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then there's classes as well, which are different than the character special abilities.
Yeah, so you choose one character and you choose one class. You get some cards from each, and then you shuffle build them together to build your climber to play against whatever Leviathan you happen to choose.
So because I'm new, I should probably go for the Herald, so I can encourage and inspire you, since you already know what you're doing, and then you can just like heal the Leviathan.
Yeah. Actually, I think I got it set up so that you can do all kinds of fun smashing and I can support you, but you know.
Oh, you set me as a striker?
I did set you as a striker. Hopefully that's okay. We can always change it.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Okay, so anything else? I'm just scrolling through. We have some sample YouTube videos here if people want to go ahead and look at those. Oh, we got a raid. One moment.
Why me?
Awesome. Mean Pomelo.
Why me?
Mean Pomelo is a wonderful streamer and also works for Brotherwise Games. So, Mean Polo, thank you so much for the raid for your community over here. What were you streaming today? Falling Freely, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. And it's so good to see you all. And I have Justin here, lead designer from Moon Crab Games, and we're checking out the Leviathan Wilds Kickstarter page. We're actually almost done with this, and we're about to start the playthrough. So thank you so much for being here. And Mean Pimple, let me know what you're streaming today. There's Kestrel, exactly. Kestrel, we just had this long conversation about you. Nurse Boar, good to see you. Hello. And if anyone has any questions about the Kickstarter for Leviathan Wilds or to Justin, please ask them in chat. You can use your highlight feature as well if I don't see it, and I'll make sure Justin can see that question as well. The little giveaway stream playing some party games. Awesome. Fun. That sounds so fun. I'm sad I missed the giveaway stream. No. Well, thank you for the raid and good to see everyone. Okay, so again, we have, I'm going to fast scroll back to the top here. We have how many more hours? 14 hours left for the early bird promotion, which will get you $5 off the Kickstarter price. And already the Kickstarter price is going to be less than the retail price, right? I see that here, $69 to $59. And if you back within the next 14 hours left to go, it's only $54. Okay. So, and it plays ages 10 and up. And it's a 1 to 4 player game, and it takes about an hour to play.
The last thing is that retail price that we're knocking off. It's worth noting that that's just kind of an estimate if we ever make it to retail. We don't have any current plans. We don't have any current partners lined up to bring this to a proper retail edition. That may happen someday, but it's not currently. We don't have any plans for it. So if you are interested, if this live stream piques your interest, supporting us now is one of the ways that is the way that you can get your hands on the game. Which
Wow.
I'll mention, it's nearly finished. We're looking at a pretty short amount of time between campaign closing and fulfillment, so you won't have to wait 5 years. I can almost promise you that. I could probably promise you that, but I'm always cautious.
Yeah, especially when
Always cautious.
there was a thing called a pandemic and it kind of tipped everything over.
That's right, yeah.
You never know what could happen. So, all right, well, thank you so much and congrats again. Wouldn't that be cool to see $70,000 while on live stream? I want to see that happen. Sure. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started with our game here. So I see a Leviathan here. What is the name of this one?
This is the Sentinel.
Oh, okay. I see the name right here. Sentinel.
And the Sentinel kind of represents the first major climbing challenge. There's a adorable turtle called the Sage that is a tutorial, or tutorial if you prefer.
Oh, I love that.
And so this is that one's geared towards teaching the game's mechanics in a way that isn't going to smash you into the ground. This one is nice and tall and spindly with lots of different climbing routes and a lot of nasty attacks. So we're going to see just how well that goes.
Okay.
For the two of us playing here.
And I can read the Sentinel introduction.
If you would like to, go for it.
Okay, it says, we see this type from time to time. Lanky, mask-like facial features and sort of melting from the sickness. Soft-handed scholars back home have theories, but most of them ain't ever seen a Leviathan up close. Can't see it mattering either way. Oh my gosh, I can't read. Don't change what we got to do to stay alive and get the job done.
There's a bit of a implied accent to that, so
yeah, I failed that one. All right, so I understand the basics, but let's pretend like I didn't watch that video. And how do you play this game?
All right, so let me see. I've got my spiel here, and we've already talked about the basics of the game. We're climbing the Leviathan, and with our little meeples, we're this crew of climbers who are out trying to save these creatures by destroying all the crystals on them. And we're going to do so by climbing throughout the different spaces on the Leviathan's body. There's these little circular nodes, and you're going to work your way up to the different Leviathans, jumping, climbing, gliding, all the way throughout, trying to get to these crystals and reduce them all to 0 in order to do that. Now, of course, there's going to be some stuff that we have to contend with while we're doing so. There's a couple of different types of terrain on the Leviathan, which I'll cover first. There is yellow terrain, which is difficult terrain, and when you enter those types of spaces, you're going to lose some grip. You'll notice that you have a deck of cards in your play area. Your deck of cards is what also represents your grip, and through various means, you're going to be spending and discarding those cards. Anytime you lose a grip, you're going to discard one from the top of your deck into your play area, and if your grip is ever empty, if all these cards are gone, you're going to fall. So that's one of the things you have to be careful of while you're climbing. Falling just means you're going to drop down in the column, and I'll cover exactly what that means a little bit later. So yellow spaces, you lose a little bit of grip, you put yourself at risk of falling. Red spaces, when you enter those spaces, those are hazardous, and they're going to cause you damage. You've got a stat bar on your player board that's going to keep track of your health, and another stat, which I'll cover in a moment. But it's something you have to be careful of, because if you lose all your health, you're defeated, and we are on a trajectory towards losing the game.
Oh.
Other spaces that you have to contend with are open spaces. I discussed falling briefly, but of course, if you're in an open space, you're going to fall. There's nothing to climb, so you're going to fall as far as you get to, which is going to be a ledge. That's these little spaces with the underlines on them. Those are good terrain. You like those because whenever you're falling, the ledges are going to catch you. And on top of that, they're also going to let you take a breather during your turn if you choose to do so, which is going to help you not lose your grip and help you keep climbing faster and faster. So that's the terrain, but in addition to the terrain, we have to contend with what the Leviathan is going to be doing to us. And the Leviathan has this set of threat cards. Every Leviathan has a completely unique set, which is going to dictate some of its behaviors. Sometimes that's paired with special rules, tokens, and other pieces of tracking that you that will be thematically tied to what the Leviathan is. So the big spider has webs, for example, and its threat card deals with webs in some fashion. But the Leviathan deck is full of these different threat cards, and some of them are attacks and some of them are events. Anytime you see one of these diagrams, if you want to zoom in on that a little bit so people can see, there's all these little white bubbles on that. And the first thing you do is, whoever the target is, say it's me, Kestrel, the active climber, I'm going to place this red attack ring around my figure on the board. The attack ring is the origin point of the attack. And here, I'll bring the card up here so you can kind of see what it's how it's doing. All of the white spaces in the surrounding area are the spaces of the attack that are affected. So for Kestrel here, it's everything 2 above, 2 below, and 1 to the left and right, with tiny little pockets of safety, kitty corner left and right there. If I manage to get out of that space before this attack lands, then I'm safe and I'm able to not get smooshed by this Twisted Lash here, which is really important in avoiding damage and getting out of these different attacks and getting out of the threat of them. Which of course ties into the turn structure, which I should have mentioned first, but I'll backtrack to that slightly. The very first step of the turn is you reveal a threat card. And if you get an attack, you're going to place the attack marker, and then after that you get to activate. So the attack's not going to land yet. It gives you an opportunity to see what's coming and then react to it. So for example, with this here, Twisted Lash, I might put the attack marker around me, and then I'm going to go, okay, I'm getting out of here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to avoid that attack completely. It's a big giant boss. It's got a big lumbering swing, and in many cases you're able to avoid that and hopefully still manage to keep on whatever strategy we're working towards. Sometimes the attacks will disrupt what you're trying to do, and you have to adapt and change your strategy a little bit. The other type of threat card are events, and those ones will usually just specify a target and an effect that will happen. So decaying form here will push one down, and then all other climbers are going to take a damage or a grip from that. So after we reveal the threat card, we activate the climber. I talked about that just a little bit. But when you activate your climber, you're going to take one of we should have 3 cards in our hands. Here, I'll set them out front here so we can see them a little bit better. You'll choose one of 3 unique cards from your hand, and you'll play it to the top of your player board. This is going to give you a number of action points equal to the number shown in the upper left, which you can then use to do actions for your activation. So kind of think of it as like a cooperative game like Pandemic. It's action efficiency, action optimization, but you're getting different values for the different points. You can use all of these actions in any order, any combination you want to kind of build your turn how you want to build it. And the actions, in brief, you can spend 1 action point to climb 1 space. That's up, down, left, and right. So it'll let you move 1 node here, there, everywhere on the board. You can jump for 3 action points, and that's going to let you avoid the space in between. You get to move 2 spaces, but you skip over what's in between. So if I'm sitting here on the Sentinel's hip, I can leap over across this gap to the arm without falling. Because of course, if I just climbed into this space, woo, there I go. Gliding is another action you can perform, and it's similar to jump in that it lets you cross over spaces. And it also lets you move downward and diagonally. It's one of the most efficient types of movement you can achieve, and it lets you spend however much AP you want to. So if I were to spend 1 AP gliding, I could move to this space, or this space. So I can go boom, boom, boom. If I spent 2 AP, I could go here, 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 or here. If I chose to spend 3, I can do the next row in the column, the little pyramid that is formed by the glide options, and so on. If I spent 5 AP, it would be 5 spaces down and diagonal in whatever fashion I choose. And again, like, it could let me cross over this gap in case I needed to get over to this crystal because we haven't gotten it yet. Those are the main movement actions, and we're using those a ton to get around the Leviathan and get to the crystals. The strike action is how we're going to win the game. Once we finally get to those crystals, we spend action points to break them. And it's the same as gliding. You spend however many you choose, however many you want based on how much AP you have left, to reduce the crystal by that amount. So if I'm on this here blue crystal and I spend 2 action points here, I can reduce it to 2. If I spent 4 action points, I'd break the thing entirely. Once it is reduced to 0, it's removed. Once all the crystals are removed, we win the game.
Okay.
I'll talk about the difference between blue and white in just a second here.
Okay.
But to get through the rest of the actions, I talked about rest very, very briefly. When you're on a ledge, that's one of those white underlined spaces. I'm just making you do all kinds of back and forth camera work. You're doing awesome. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I'm concentrating.
When you're on one of those white underlined spaces, you can rest, and that will take your entire discard pile of cards, shuffle it, and place it under your deck. So if you're down to your last sliver of grip, that's how you can get your full deck back and you're not at risk of falling anymore.
Are you allowed to count your cards? Are you allowed to count
sure.
how many you've left so you know how much grip you have left?
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, everything's essentially open information. The only stuff that's hidden are cards that are already face down. Cards in your deck, you can't just look at them and that sort of thing. So, but everything else is fair game.
Okay.
And then finally, the last action. Resting costs 2 action points. So when you're on a ledge, you want to rest, you take your 2 action points and get your whole deck back. And then finally, there is the mend action. And that's how you can recover some health. That's the red marker on your player board. So if I've taken a bunch of damage, 1 action point I can mend. Another action point, I'll mend again because I like to be closer to full health for reasons. You don't have to be on a ledge for that, though. You can do that anywhere. That's an important distinction. So going back to those blue crystals, because now we're talking about health and stats, there's also this little marker at the other end of the track, and that's your blight. When you strike one of those blue crystals, regardless of how much you strike it for, you can strike it for 1, you can strike it for 4, you're going to suffer 1 blight, because those are blighted crystals. This creeps up over time, the health creeps down over time, and if ever the 2 should meet, your climber is defeated, and all remaining climbers have 1 more turn each with which to finish the scenario, or they have to run away to save your life.
Ooh.
So it's something you got to keep track of. Health, as you can see with the mend action, is recoverable. Blight is almost never recoverable. There's just a couple of special effects in the game that let you block blight damage or recover blight, that sort of thing. So gotta be very careful about it.
Okay.
So that's all the actions. Then there's a couple of things that you can do anytime, and here's where the sort of secret strategy and the meat of the game comes into play, is that every single one of the cards in your hand, I'm actually skipping down to use skill at the bottom there, but every single one of the cards in your hand has a skill effect on the bottom half that can be used at any time. You can use it on yourself during your turn, during your in between your actions. You can use it on another climber if the card says it's available to be used on another climber.
Okay, wait.
And
I can't concentrate right now because I just read Vortac's comment.
Sweet. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
So I just read that just now, and then I was like, oh my gosh, no way. And I just had to tell you real quick because I can't concentrate because that is so exciting. Vortac, thank you for letting us know. That is so cool. I am so excited. What the heck? Wow. Woohoo! Yay. Awesome. Okay. Woohoo! Okay. Whew. All right. What were you saying?
I don't know. Some more backers. Woo!
Party! Okay.
So every card
use
in your
skill.
Deck,
use skill.
Yeah. Every card in your deck can be played for its skill effect, and if you do that, you don't get the benefit of its action points during your turn. So you kind of got to choose how you're going to use it. But everything has a printed skill effect on it, and it lets you do super powerful effects at any time. You know, it lets you dodge out of Leviathan area of effects. Take a look at Vigorous Leap here. This is what we call a jump diagram, and your little meeple person is represented in the space there, and all the white and possibly green spaces are where you can get to by just playing the card, and it doesn't cost you anything other than the card itself. So if I'm running around the map here and I want to just be like, okay, I'm at full health, I'm going to use Vigorous Leap to pop from the arm back over to the hip here, I can do that because it lets me jump 2 spaces. So Anytime you can play those, but of course you're only drawing cards up at the end of your turn, so you have to be careful how quickly you're using them. Of course, spending more of those cards is going to make you run out of grip faster, so you got to be a little bit careful about how you play. Now, I'm not usually careful. I usually play like a madman, just throwing cards willy-nilly hither and yon. So we'll see how that goes in this particular game.
Okay.
The other anytime actions, pretty simple. You can let go at any time, and this is where I'm going to choose to talk about falling. So you can just let go, and whenever you let go or when you run out of grip, you start falling. You're going to move your figure one space at a time down from their current position, encountering every space along the way. So you'll take damage and grip if that's applicable, until you reach a ledge. But, of course, that can be really useful. Say maybe I'm up here, and I get this area of effect attack here on the head, and I'm like, I don't want to take that. I let go and just fall to this ledge and avoid getting slammed. It doesn't cost me anything other than the time it might take to get back to the head, if that's part of my strategy.
Okay.
The last thing is foraging. There's these little mushroom tokens throughout the board. Those are going to give one-shot skill effects. Similar to the cards, they're going to say things like strike 1 or +1 health or that sort of thing. So when you enter that space, you can just pick it up, and whenever you want, you carry it around. Whenever you want, you just do what it says.
And where does it say what it does?
It'll say on the mushroom itself. Here, I'll grab one from the supply. That's a bad example. This one says climb 1.
Okay.
So you can just spend that at any time to get a free climb 1.
Cool.
I think that's after you activate, after you spend your AP, after you spend cards, you resolve the threat card that was revealed at the start of the turn, and then you can choose to discard any cards you want to, draw till you have 3, and then it moves on to the next player. That's essentially the entire game.
Draw until you have 3?
Yep.
Okay, and when you say discard, if you have like 5, you have to discard down to 3?
No, and you most of the time you're going to have 3 or less cards. You'll spend 1 for your action points. You'll have 2. Maybe you'll spend some for a skill during the game, and you can also choose, like, if you really want to, you can discard a card if you don't think you'll have a use for it. So, say you feel like you got a bad card in hand at the end of your turn, it's like, I don't want to keep this. I'm going to get rid of it.
So regarding threats, we're only going to have 1 threat per turn, or do all the threats add on to each other?
1 per turn. So every turn will reveal a threat card. That'll be the threat card for the turn. We'll activate the climber, then we'll resolve the threat card, and then draw up, and it moves on to the next player.
And did we talk about the rage track?
We haven't as of yet. I think we can cover that once we get through the first round here, because it'll be immediately applicable. So. And
then you mentioned head damage.
I was saying, like, if I happen to be up here and I got attacked, I could, like, maybe I take so if I have Twisted Lash here, I'll bring it up here. If this is what I reveal during the turn and I got this going on, maybe I want to choose to still, like, go for this and try to chip this away and just take the damage from this attack rather than trying to evade the attack. It's part of the sort of decision making of the game, trying to decide what you can take, what you want to avoid, what you need to get done in order to win. So.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you can shuffle your deck, hover over and press R.
Cosmic says it's like Shadow of the Colossus, but a Nito Burrito board game. And now I want a burrito, Cosmic.
Me too.
I shuffled my deck.
And then you draw 3. And if you don't remember the hotkey, you press 3 while hovering over as well. Also featured.
I just. Oh, okay. I need to put some back.
Yeah, go. You got it.
I think I'm just gonna restart.
Try again.
Yeah. I accidentally tapped it twice. Okay, here we go.
This is also a convenient tutorial for Tabletop Simulator.
I know, and this is sadly not my first time using TTS. Okay, got 3.
Hey, you got it. You got a rad hand.
Oh, Cosmic says, is this going to be playable at Gen Con?
We're sadly not going to be able to attend Gen Con. Very, very tiny studio, very limited budget. I would love to attend Gen Con, but it's just not in the cards for us this year.
Okay. Not in the cards. Nice. Also, were you looking at my stream so you knew what I had? That's cheating. How did you know what I had?
How do I know what you had?
Yeah.
I can see it on my screen.
What?
Your set of cards here. Yeah.
Why?
Because they're not hidden.
Oh!
Tabletop Simulator lets you set whether other players' cards are hidden.
Oh my
from
gosh! I thought they were hidden. I was like, how do you know what I have? That's not fair.
I think we're 45 minutes or something into the stream, and I don't know if we've said the words cooperative game, but just in case, hey everybody, this is a cooperative game, so we're working together.
Oh, okay. Now I know. I won't kill you. Brain Jar, good to see you. How's it going? I definitely keeping eyes on this one. I'm liking this as a lot, especially the overall art design. Well, Cosmic, they have about 13 and a half hours left to get a discount for the early bird backers on Kickstarter. So if you're interested, maybe after the stream, you're like, you know what? I do want to back it. You still have about 13 and a half hours to get a sale on a sale. So, because it's already at a discount from the retail price. All right, so I have it here, and does it matter who goes first?
Would you like me to go first to demonstrate, or do you want to just roll through a turn? So at the start of the game, we're going to place our characters on the board in player order. So we kind of decide who's going to be capable of what we can bring to the table. I forgot to mention, each character also has a special ability. Yours is nice and easy. You got a giant pickaxe, and so you get +1 to a strike effect once per turn. So mine is pretty similar, or likewise fairly simple. I just get a once per activation jump diagram that I can use to cross gaps, and whereas it's more expensive for other climbers, Kestrel gets to take flight and avoid some of that stuff. Bearing that in mind, go.
Also, Brain and Jar says, anyone seen the 1989 sci-fi Leviathan? Was this inspired by any of that? No?
I'm afraid not. I think it's mostly Shadow of the Colossus and some climbing mechanics from Breath of the Wild.
Okay. Oh, well, this is perfectly on theme for this week then. That was all in the plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And what were you saying?
So I will place my climber first. I think I'll try to jump up to the club here, his little club hand, and take out this crystal, work my way up the arm, and see where we get. I may have to flee to other parts depending on what the game throws at me.
Okay. I think that I will go on the far right so I can avoid that red thing and then cross over to the blue.
Yeah. Yeah, and the very last thing, I'm sure it's not the very last thing, but I slightly neglected to mention, the card that you choose for action points may also have different colored symbols on it. When you play that for action points, you get to ignore the associated terrain. So if you have a yellow card, you've got a bunch of yellow cards. If you walk through yellow, you don't lose grip. If you had a red card that you played for your action points, you wouldn't take damage entering red spaces. And there's even blue icons that will protect you from blight when striking. So. And
you say yellow card because it has this yellow circle right here?
That's right. Yep. Okay. Right under the little AP number. So, which is relevant because I am going to choose. Oh, what do I want to do? I want to be stylish. So I'm going to, first I'm going to reveal the threat card. We'll quickly reset these so we don't get to cheat so much.
Okay.
And then we'll start by revealing the threat card.
Was that the same one?
That's the exact same one. So.
Okay.
I have there's this feeling I get, and that's that the Sentinel is going to be trying to hit me with Twisted Lash over and over and over again, and eventually will succeed. That has happened before.
Well, maybe I should have placed mine near you so we could protect each other.
Well, if you were in the AoE of that, you would also take the damage. So.
Oh, and I wouldn't be able to move because it's not my turn.
Yep. If you had like a diagram effect, you could use that to jump out of the area if you happen to be in there. So that would be a way of getting free of it. But I'm going to be okay. I'm going to choose to play Twin Talons.
Okay.
For my action points. It's going to give me 4 action points. Before I do anything else, I'm going to be super stylish, and I'm going to play Vigorous Leap for the skill effect on the bottom half of the card. And so, oops, I'm sorry, I stole it away from your camera again.
Oh, it's fine. You do you.
The bottom half of the card shows a jump diagram that I can go 2 spaces upward if I have full health. Since it's the beginning of the game and I haven't suffered anything, I can go 2 spaces upward. That's going to let me jump over this little gap that's on the map to this space on the club, all before I've spent a single action point.
Okay.
Now I will spend 1 action point to move into this space above, the yellow space, but since I have the yellow, the difficult terrain protection from my card, I get to ignore that penalty. So that's 1 action point. 2 action points, I'll move into this space with the crystal, and then I will spend 2 action points to strike this crystal for 2 and remove it from the map.
Okay. So you have to be on the same space as the crystal.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. All right. So you just revealed the threat, you activated the climber, and now we resolved the threat, which you're out of. So what happens to the card?
The card just stays. It goes crunch, nothing happens, and now we move on to the final part of the turn, which is to discard and draw.
Okay.
I will choose to keep the card in my hand, and I will draw 2, which will put my hand total up to 3.
And then you discard.
All of my everything goes in the discard pile, and now it's your turn.
I like this little board here. I like that there's actually arrows pointing to exactly where it's talking to, because I need that. Daryl, good to see you. Hello. How's it going? Good to see you. Happy Tuesday.
Our graphic designer Sam is smiling because all of this was hard work and very intentional on his part.
Well,
he's a fantastic graphic designer.
Okay, so I have my 3 cards, and we need to reveal a threat. So flip over this one. Oh, sorry. So it says most health. Oh, there's no way to avoid this.
So this one is an event. Sap Strength is going to target the player with the most health, and they're going to lose 1 health and 1 grit.
At the end of this turn.
At the end of this turn, yep. And since we're both tied for most health, we'll get to choose who suffers the effect.
Don't know if I like this as a co-op game. It's like, sure, I'll volunteer to lose health and grip. No, Justin's gonna lose it. He's more skilled in this game than I am. Decision made.
Yeah, I'm playing the healer, so I'm happy to take those effects.
Okay. Can I place my cards out here because it's just harder to see?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You can go as you like. Whatever makes the stream.
It's a little bit easier for scrolling for stream as well. Okay, so my goal is to get next to this crystal. And that's going to be 1. Oh, wait, I can pick up a mushroom on the way.
Sure, yeah.
So does that, because that's an anytime action.
Yep,
so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if I play a card, any climber may glide 1. And glide is down only.
Down, yep.
Okay, so I'm not going to use that. I think, okay, and then wall jump is there, and I can avoid yellow. And then dino is 4, and that's 2 up and 1 over. 2 up and 2 up and 1 to the left of it, which I don't want that. Okay, so I think I'm going to play... okay, wait, one more thing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to play... Dino for my action points and have 4 action points. And then that one's 1, 2, 3 diagonal. Oh, one moment. We have a sub. Hey. Oh, Mylanta. ID, thank you so much for that sub. You subscribe with Prime. You could have used your Prime anywhere and you chose to use it here. Thank you so much. If anyone doesn't know, Prime, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can connect it to Twitch because Amazon actually owns Twitch, and you can sub to 1 streamer per month for free, and it pays them just like a normal sub, but it doesn't cost you a single thing. And then once that Prime sub expires, you can use it on another streamer or the same streamer. So ID, thank you for using it here, and welcome back 4 months in a row. Daryl, thank you for that link. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 1, 2, pick up the mushroom. It is a +1 health.
Yeah, so that'll heal you for 1.
Can I give you the mushrooms at any time?
If we're on the same space, yeah. But,
on the same space.
We're so far away. Okay. You can't quite yeet it that far.
Okay. And then I'm going to... I can't exactly 3, 4, and then I'm stuck here. But maybe next time I could just knock it out.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, you could get set up on it. You could potentially from
One moment,
the
one
mushroom
moment.
station.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Chainlink Spiral also subscribed with Prime, and a first-time subscriber here. Welcome to the Bonsai Nation. You now have no ads. You have the Kaipo Heart emotes. Kaipo's my little dog. You have the Bonsai Hype emotes. Thank you so much. And if anyone doesn't know who I am, and you're here maybe because of this wonderful Kickstarter, I am a family-friendly board game and video game streamer, and I provide content Monday through Friday around the same time every day, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So thank you so much for that Prime sub, Chainlink. Welcome. Kaipo Heartman, thank you, Daryl. Okay, so you were mentioning the setting up for next round, which I think I'm going to do, and then I could move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is absolutely a good move.
So I think I'm gonna discard Glide, any climber my Glide 1, because I don't want that right now. And then I'm gonna discard Dino because I used it. I'm gonna keep Wall Jump. I'll just say this is my card for my display, and then I'm gonna draw 2 more. Oh wait, was I supposed to resolve the thing before I drew? My bad.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take the damage and the grip.
Well,
oh no!
I was gonna say, wait. How about I do it? Just pretend like you didn't see that card.
I didn't see that
because
card.
I have a +1 heart.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a grip, and then I'm gonna lose a health, and I'm gonna spend this mushroom and just keep my health where it is. Is there a mushroom discard pile?
Yeah, you can just toss it off to the side, or put it in the mushroom bag.
Okay, toss it. Okay, all right. So that was resolve the threat, and now discard and draw, which I already did. I did it out of order.
Yeah. Yep. No problem. All right. It is now back to me. I will flip the next card, and it's going to be Wrath. The highest climber is going to take 2 damage, and that's almost certainly going to be me. I could always let go and turn you into the highest climber, but we've already established that it's a cooperative game, even though there's maybe some animosity brewing.
I mean, you could totally, we could start this right now. Bring it on.
Okay, fine. All right, I'm gonna do something super cool. Just
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm going to do something super cool. I think I might just get set up on the blue crystal up there. I will play heal to get myself 3 action points. Unfortunately, not going to get the use of that healing effect, but I kind of like my other 2 cards a lot. I will spend 1, 2, 3, all 3 of my action points to do that. And then I will play Ride the Wind to leap.
Wow.
That's a Kestrel special card.
That was a good one.
That comes from his character, or their character, excuse me. And
Kestrel to me is a she, because that's the Kestrel I know.
And that's my turn.
In fact, it says placeholder art. Just put Kestrel's face. Kestrel could have her own character. I mean, you kind of already named it after her, so I mean, yeah. See, Kestrel, where you at? Exactly.
There we go.
So.
All right. I'm highest climber, unfortunately. I'm going to lose 2 health. Boop. My cube goes down by 2. And I will draw until I have 3.
Okay,
and
how many cards per deck?
There are usually between 9 and 11 cards per deck. It's a very small deck. You're going to see it multiple times as you play through each scenario.
So it depends which character you are. One character might have 11. Are you going to have personalized character sleeves?
Not at this stage. That sounds awesome, but the whole campaign, the whole everything is very lean and focused. Trying to make sure we provide the best gameplay experience and as
That makes sense.
as focused away as possible. It's kind of non-traditional for Kickstarter not to have so many add-ons, but we wanted to keep it in scope and achievable for the team.
Especially if this is round 2, you want to make sure everything is okay. I understand. So my old Rusty card says strike 2 or block 2. What is strike 2 again? That's the ability, the action.
Yeah, so instead of spending action points to strike, you can play Old Rusty and just whack something for 2. So during my turn, had you been so inclined, you could spend a grip, because that's the cost on Old Rusty, to attack that crystal for 2, +1 for you being fix, and break that crystal even though it's not your turn. If you want to wait till it is your turn, you can do that too. You don't have to spend a single action point to do it, and that's where a lot of the power comes in what you can achieve with your turn. Throwing those cards into the mix.
So I can strike 2 or block 2 even though my character isn't over there?
I'm talking about your position on the map. You're sitting on a crystal also.
Yeah, but I can't do that to your crystal.
Nope. Okay. If the effect says any climber, because you have one that says any climber may climb 1, you can play that and choose me as the any climber if you like. But
it has to be on my turn when I play that card.
Nope. You can play the cards for skill effects at any time.
Okay, so if I do that, but I will start my turn with only 2 cards instead of 3.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to reveal a threat. It's side swipe. Oh, -2 health and then push 1. What happens? Can I get pushed off the board?
You can't get pushed if you're already at the edge of the map, but if you get pushed into like an open space, that would cause you to fall. So got to be careful if you get hit with that.
Okay, so I just have to make sure I'm 3 away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and I have 1 extra strike. I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play this one for 5. And I can ignore yellow. And it says heavy strike, +1 to your strike, limit once per turn. So I'm going to do 2 action points plus my ability. So that's 3. Break that crystal.
Nice.
And then I have 3 movement left. And I'm going to go 1, ignore the yellow. Because if I'm passing through, I still have to address the colors, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, 2 and 3, and now I'm safe. Am I gonna play anything else? Any climber may climb 1. Did you want to do that?
I think you could use it if you just want to keep moving. You've still got the protection from yellow, so you could actually get into that yellow terrain space there, and
Perfect.
That would be the game is packed with a bunch of these tiny little efficiencies that you can use to get an advantage in the game. It's got this nice little puzzly nature to it that people who've played it have really, really liked, if that's your thing.
Okay. I resolved the threat, which was, I'm fine.
Yeah,
and
you're fine.
I'm going to keep this card and then draw 2.
Yeah.
Mr. Elm, good to see you, by the way. And then that's my turn.
So keep an eye on your grip. You've got, it looks like 2 cards left in there. And
how do you tell?
When you hover over, your UI is disabled. If your UI is enabled, when you hover over, you can see that you have 2 cards left.
Oh, welcome, Aboba. Yes, the art is lovely. We were talking about the art earlier. Justin, what other games has the artist worked on?
Let's see here. He did Mission Red Planet, the second edition of that. He did the graphic design, at least. The graphic design for Citadels, the new edition of that. He did Cryo, which is a really gorgeous Z-Man game that kind of went under the radar. Pandemic Legacy Season 0. What else? He's going to be so mad at me that I forgot. Star Wars Rebellion. He did all the graphic design.
He's going to be so mad at me. And Aboba says is Justin the designer. Yes, lead designer for Crabtree Games. Mooncrab, sorry. Crabtree. Moon Crab Games. Why did I say Crabtree? Wait, is that an actual thing? I think Crabtree's an actual thing. So, for Moon Crab Games, Boba. PLS0 is gorgeous. PLS0. Meeple, don't use acronyms. What?
It's Pandemic Legacy Season 0. I
Oh, Justin knows acronyms. Okay. Man, I was like, I don't know. Mission Red Planet is fantastic. I feel underrated. And have you played, what was it? You said Cairo?
Cryo.
Cryo. Okay.
Which is a Euro worker placement game designed by Luke Laurie.
Okay. Okay. It was a lady teacher in the Little Rascals show. That's where I got it from. Mrs. Crabtree. You know.
Deep cuts today. Very deep.
Mrs. Crabtree. I knew it. It was like somewhere in my brain. I can't believe I said that. Oh, well, at least those Little Rascals. I love Little Rascals. All right. Okay, Justin. It is your turn, right? We got to reveal the last threat.
Yeah. All right. So, last threat card is Decaying Form. It's going to push me down 1, and then both of us are going to have to choose whether to take 1 damage or 1 grip.
Okay.
So.
Can't avoid it.
See. Avoid it. What am I going to do? Something cool. I'm not at full health. What can I do? So I'm going to play Back on Your Feet for action points. It's going to give me 4 action points and red protection. I will. I think I'm going to spend all my cards here.
Oh.
First, I'm going to heal for 2. Because I'm playing the Mender class. The Mender class has a bunch of effects that do better. Oh, here. You know what? I will put my hand out here, too.
Okay.
And so that you can see it a little bit more easily. Got a bunch of effects that do more things if I happen to be at full health. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 action points to mend twice. Then I'm going to use Righteous Might to attack to strike the Blighted Crystal. And Righteous Might lets me ignore blighted terrain on my strike. And I get +1 to that strike if I'm at full health. So I'm going to do that right away. I'll hit it for 3.
What a combo.
And I won't take Blight. Normally, if you're not protected from Blight, you'll take 1 of these little blue markers.
Oh, no. I didn't move mine.
Oh, yeah, you got to do that.
Yep. Okay, I moved mine.
Yep. So I get to ignore it. Now I'm going to play Feeling Good. I'm going to climb 1 or strike 1, and I can do both if I'm full health. And I can because there's multiple... the way that using skills with multiple effects works is you can do them in any order. So I will choose to strike 1. I'm at full health. I will then climb 1 to just pop up onto this ledge. Now, that strike that I just did is not protected from Blight, but that's okay because I was just able to take out that entire crystal, use all my action points, and even get onto this ledge without losing too much from it.
Wow.
So that's my turn.
Wow. Okay, and then real quick, because I already forgot, how did you avoid Blight from the first strike? First 3 strikes.
The card
that card.
I had, Righteous Might, says ignore blighted terrain on your
Got
strike.
it. So you played 2 cards, not including your action point card. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That was amazing.
Yeah, I feel pretty all right about that. I guess, unfortunately, my turn is slightly less cool because now I'm going to get pushed right off of that ledge from Decaying Form. It's going to push me down 1, and then both of us have to choose whether to lose 1 health or 1 grip.
Okay.
I'm going to choose to lose 1 health at this point because I'm a little low on cards. You have 2 left. You may want to take a pit stop. And if you choose to lose grip and then spend your turn getting resting, that grip goes into your discard pile and come right back. So it's kind of a question of what your plan is.
Yep. So I'm going to look at my cards here. It says strike 1. If played immediately after a jump or glide, or while falling, strike 2 instead. Vault is really just leaping across. And then Old Rusty is -1 strike 2, or block 2. Okay. And block 2 is what now? Again?
So when you're taking damage or push or grip, block 2 or block whatever amount will prevent some of that, however you choose to split it.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna choose to lose 1 grip. So there we go.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Oh no.
It's okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna rest on my turn, but we have to do this first.
Yes. All right. So we have reached the end of the first round. All 5 threat cards have been revealed. So we gather them up, we shuffle them, and then we deal them back out in the row. But what we also do is we tick up the rage track by 1. And what that's going to do, the number that's shown underneath the space of the rage track, we're going to take that many cards from the left, and we're going to enrage those cards. You may have noticed that these cards are double-ended.
Oh no!
And so now this card is enraged, which means it's going to be much, much meaner than it was the last time around. And every time we go through the deck here, we're going to enrage another card in the row, and the game is going to get harder and harder over time.
Okay. Now, is there the word enraged on the card on either side?
It is not, I think, on either of the sides, but the graphic design UI has it set for the sort of fangly side, the blue side.
Because, like, if I'm playing a physical copy, how will I know what's the enraged side?
I guess you wouldn't necessarily, and maybe we need to address that. I think it's pretty well handled in the UI, but we'll maybe take a look at that.
Okay.
I guess the way that it generally works is that the upright side that has the name on it is the normal side, and then when you rotate it around, you have the enraged side just kind of automatically. So you flip it sideways, and then you have the enraged version.
All right. So for me, I have -2, push 1, and then it says miss enrage.
Yeah. So upgraded from the regular side swipe, the diagram is way bigger, and if the attack misses, it's going to cause the next available card to rotate around and become enraged. So the Sentinel's going to get real mad if it misses its punch on you.
Okay. So,
which is totally fine. I don't necessarily encourage you to take the hit.
Yeah. Okay. And then I need to make sure it's 1, 2. So it's basically, can I miss it with this vault move? 1, 2. I cannot.
Vault would get you here, but if you spent it,
I could move.
You could move first and then vault, and that would get you out of the.
But I wanted to rest.
Can you get to that rest space there? It's 1, 2, 3 up. I forgot to draw cards.
Because if I rest, or if I lose my grip, I fall. But if I fall on a ledge, then I just redo my deck anyway. So if I land on a edge or a ledge, have no more grip, I won't fall because I'm already on a ledge.
Yeah, that's right. So here's a thought as well. There's also a ledge right next to you, kind of on the elbow. You could go to that one, and you have a card in hand that could block for you. So if you wanted to move there and rest, and then use Ol Rusty to block the attack, that would be a nice way of avoiding taking a bunch of damage from it and getting pushed and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So that's an option for you. I'm not sure if it's...
That's really good. Because then I'll get my whole deck back.
Mm-hmm.
Block with Ol Rusty. But okay. That would be like my turn.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to play Momentum. And then that's going to give me 4. And I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm going to move up 1. Oh, my bad. I'm going to move up 1. Then that was 1. Then I'm going to strike for 1, so I'll bring it down to 2.
Mm-hmm. And you're fixed, so you'll bring it down to 1.
Ooh, and then how do I rotate this dice?
Hover over and press the number that you want to turn it to.
Awesome. Okay, so that was 2 action points, and then 3, 4 to get to the ledge, right?
Yeah.
And
you can glide, so I guess... Yeah, if you want to be on the ledge, you've got the
glide. It was just one spot, 1 action point. So now I have 1 action point left, but it's going to take me 2 to rest.
Yes. 2 to
So
rest.
I'll just end there, and then I'm still in the threat territory. But so I would lose 2 health, but I'm gonna play All Rusty, which is block 2. And then nothing happened, and I can't get pushed to the edge, and now we don't have to enrage the second card.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. And
that was really good.
Thank you for helping me, because
Yeah, of course.
like that's definitely puzzle. Is Bonds playing co-op? Yes, I am playing co-op. I don't know if you know this, Justin. I am renowned to not play co-op games. But
well, thank you.
if I am enjoying Leviathan Wilds and it is a co-op game, then that speaks volumes, everyone, okay? Just know that. And I'm enjoying this game. I like the puzzle for sure. Okay, so I'm going to discard the... Oh, wait, no. First, we need to resolve the threat. Nothing... Well, it happened. We already resolved it. Then discard and draw. And... Oops. And I think I'm going to discard everything. Then I draw back up to 1, and I keep that card. Oh, and it's a 5. Now I lost all my grip, so I fall, but I can't fall because I'm on a ledge, because I'm a boss. Then I'm going to flip this whole thing over, and then reshuffle and draw back up to 3.
Nope, you don't get to shuffle until you take a nice long nap. So that's what the rest action's for. It's 2 action points to get that whole deck back.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Okay, that was my turn.
All right, that was really good, though. That prevented us from getting hit with another enraged effect, and you didn't have to suffer too badly for it either, so...
Yeah.
All right.
Renowned throughout the land. Oh, -2. Highest.
Wrath. I'm going to get tagged with that again. I don't have too many cards to work with. So...
Technically, I'm higher than you.
You are, although I think that's probably about to change. I'm going to end up resting at least, so... you're at full health, aren't you?
I am.
All right. Well, I'm going to move... I played Invigorate for 5 AP. I'm going to move 1. I'm going to rest. Before I rest, I'm going to play Radiance. Because that'll put it right in my discard pile. I'll get it right back. Any climber gains 1. I'll choose myself. Any other climber gains 1 health as well. I'll choose you, but I think you're at full, so I don't get the full efficiency out of it, but at least it goes in my discard pile right away. I'm spending 2 action points to rest, so I get to shuffle my whole discard pile, including that card, and bring it back into my play area.
So you had some cards left over. You don't shuffle the cards on the left.
Okay. Nope, that was the only card I had as well. I just had those 2. So
you only shuffle the discard. You don't bring them all together and then shuffle. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
And so that was those 3 action points. I moved and I rested.
Okay.
I will spend my last 2 to use Kestrel's special ability to take flight, which will actually let me jump over this little red space here and get set up on this crystal.
And take flight is you get to skip 1. That's nice.
Yeah, nice little jump diagram for a high flyer.
Oh, I forgot I'm in this game. Kestrel, we have talked about you so much. Daryl's even tagged you saying, at Kestrel, where you at? Okay, we've been talking about you. Okay, sorry, I was yelling.
I'm gonna suffer the wrath and lose 2 health. And it's back to you.
Kestrel just suffered the wrath too. Okay, so you lost 2 health. That's not okay. We need to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. I'm going to reveal the threat. And it seems like a pretty easy one. We had this one last time, the Twisted Lash. I just need to make sure. So if I go diagonal, I'm safe. And I'm diagonal right now. And then to the left of that. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think my plan is going to be to get to that 1, remove the crystal, and then grab the mushroom and probably just stay there and rest. And then then I'll get my my grip back. So I'm going to play this card. glide up to 2 and then strike that amount. Oh, that's down. Okay, I'm not doing that. Okay, so I have 5. I'm gonna do. Oh. Wait, can I lose grip if I don't have any?
You can't, but if you were to walk into that space there, you'd start falling immediately.
So can I move into the empty space and then over to the left?
So right now, with no grip, if you leave that ledge, you'll start falling.
Okay, so I have to rest. So that's 2. And then I'm going to flip this over and then bring it over here and shuffle it all.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm good now. And now I have 3 left. So I can't move into an empty space because I'll fall, right? Or can I? Okay. Wait, let me see my actions here. Jump 2. Glide. So I only have 3 left, and I need to get to the left of the dice because of my threat. Oh no, if I stay at the dice, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump 2 is what again?
So that lets you move 2 spaces, but you skip the one in between. So if you were to jump 2 from where you are, you could get to that crystal and avoid walking through this grip space.
Okay.
If that's what you wanted to do.
I am going to do that. And then I'm going to... So that was 2 grip. And then I'm going to use my last grip to demolish the crystal.
All right.
And I just remove it.
All right, we're cruising right along here.
It doesn't move my blue track up. What was the blue called again?
Blight.
Huh?
Blight.
Blight. Okay, yeah. So it's a white die, doesn't move my blight up, and now that's that. The Twist of Lash didn't affect me, and now I'm gonna discard this 5 and then drop to 3. Done. We are moving right along. This Leviathan is gonna be fine. Just fine.
Well, this is going so smooth.
You know why? Because strategy. We're gonna get the job done, okay? These Leviathans are fine.
They're not gonna know what hit them but in a good way.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Breath of the Wild-esque world. We walk in. We have our tools with us. We're ready. We're gonna get these crystals, and then we're gonna sell them afterwards and make a huge profit. It's gonna be great. All right, next threat.
It's me. I'm gonna get decaying form again. Push one down, and then both of us will have to choose our flavor of nastiness.
Okay.
Okay. I think my turn's actually pretty simple. I'm starting to get a little hurt, so I should try to be a little bit careful, but you know what? Careful is no fun. I will play Vigorous Leap for action points.
Okay.
I will start by using 3 of those action points to break this 3 crystal in my space.
Ooh.
Okay, so that leaves me with 1 action point left. I will move into the space containing this other mushroom, and I will pick it up. Oh, good! Another healing mushroom. That's excellent for me.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna save that for now, but I probably will eat it very, very soon.
Okay.
And then I think it makes sense to play this super rad jump diagram Ascend right away, so that I can really I can leap all the way up to the head space here. That's 6. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think.
Wait, when did we start this game? Are we breaking record time here? Wow.
Pretty close, yeah. It's
amazing.
I don't know. I guess the Sentinel wants to be saved today, so.
Yeah. Because it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The purple and the teal. Right. Okay, you are rocking. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you.
Yeah.
Am I the only one reminded of the giant golem from Wild Arms? Well, I don't know what Wild Arms is. Do you, Justin?
Was that?
I'm gonna lose a grip, by the way.
Okay. I'm also gonna lose a grip.
Okay.
Was Wild Arms the MMO, or am I just completely? No, or was that a?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say no. Like the name I remember, and if someone tells me it's a PS1 game, okay.
I had a PS2. I don't. Don't remember
in
that
chat.
one.
Tell me if that was the one with the really like bananas advertisement about like this guy who was at a boardroom and giving this insane pitch for this game.
Okay, now I want to look this up.
I don't know if it was Wild Arms or not, but it was something else.
All right, I'm gonna reveal the next threat.
Yeah.
Most health -1 and -1 grip. Ooh.
It is not me.
Let's see. Strike 1 if immediately played after a jump or glide, or while falling. Strike 2 instead. Okay. Well, and a jump goes strike 2, so I could do 3. I could do 3, and that one would give me... Okay, I think I have a plan. So it really doesn't matter where I am, which is nice. And I could try and do jump. Let's see. So if I play 1, and then jump is 2, 2, 3, and then 4, then I'm sitting there. But I could play vault. I think I'm gonna play.
Vault would get you there.
Vault would get me there because it's 2 over and 1 up.
Yeah.
1.
So you could walk over 1, then vault, and you'd be there.
2 over and 1 up. So, okay, I'm going to play the other one then, which is Dino. And that'll give me 4 action points. So I'm going to do 1 and take the mushroom for free, which is block 2.
Nice.
Block 2, which would be whenever something tries to harm me or removes my grip, I can block 2 of those. Okay. And then I'm going to play the card we just talked about, which was Vault. And I'm going to actually take that action. So it's going to be 2 to the left and 1 up. And that will land me 2 to the left and 1 up. However, I can't block that red, right?
So you go directly to the space you choose on that. It's a jump.
Oh, got it. Okay. So I did that, and then I have 3 left. I have 3 left. So I'm going to play... What was that number? It was 5. Okay. Yep. I have 3 action points left. I'm going to play this card because playing cards doesn't take action points. And... Oh, I didn't jump or glide.
You absolutely did. The vault was a jump diagram, so you have just jumped.
Awesome. Okay, so that's 2, and then plus my heavy strike is 3, and I have 3 action points left, so that would be 6. But I only have 5, so I'm gonna use I'm gonna just use 5 total, and then I have 1 action point left. However, I did take 1 blight, but I think I want to use my... Should I use my block and just block it?
Blight.
Okay. Oh, okay. So now I have 1 action point left, and I'm gonna place this one here because I used it. Let's see. I'm gonna move up 1 for my last action point. Okay, so now it says most health is -1 and 1 grip. Now I can use my block 2 and block both of those.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna throw this mushroom off the edge here because I used it. Okay, so that threat is resolved, and I discard all and I draw 3, and I have 5 left, and that's my turn.
Now this is
2,
super smooth.
3.
All right, we've hit the end of the round again. You know what that means?
Oh.
We'll deal out our cards.
I'll move the marker up. Okay.
And now we have 2 enraged cards. So it's worth noting that on that track as well are different difficulty settings. So you can choose to start on hard, which means that in the very first round of the game, your first card's going to be enraged. If you choose to play on expert because you're a crazy person, or just very good at the game, your first 2 cards would be enraged.
Okay.
And then it would go up from there, which is, of course, is a very big challenge.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh no, you can't have that one. Oh no. Get it?
Okay, so now there's a word on that card there, and it's called Swift. What do you think that does?
It means it happens in the beginning instead of the end.
It happens right now. So I could still play cards to get out of it.
I'm
so
smart.
Like, if I wanted to let...
Okay, so you can play cards to get out of it?
I could dodge right now if I had like a jump diagram in hand or something to get out of the area of effect. I don't, and I'm also like really well positioned, so I think I'm just gonna eat this with some regrets, and possibly lots of regrets, because that's gonna put me in a little bit of a danger zone for damage. But we're getting really close to the end. I've even got this healing mushroom in my inventory.
You have
so I
a
think
lot
I'll be
of
okay.
healing cards.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take 2 blight. My health is at 6, my blight is at 3. So things are a little spooky, but I'll be okay. Probably. I think my turn is... I'm going to use Radiance for action points, which does, thankfully, give me blue protection, blight protection.
Ooh.
I'm just going to smack this for 4.
Okay.
Do I want to spend any cards? I kind of want to preserve my grip as much as possible so that I don't get dislodged from up here.
Okay.
So I think I will choose not to play any of my cards, even though I could get more grip or heal a little bit. I'll save them if I get into like a really, really dire situation.
All right.
But I will eat this mushroom just for fun. That's my turn. We don't have to resolve the threat. It was already resolved at the start of the turn. You got me, Sentinel. Congratulations. And we're
trying to help you.
Yeah, come on, man.
Ugh. Push 2 down, all -1 grip and -1 heart. Okay, so you have 3 cards left, right?
I have 3 cards left. Yeah.
No, you didn't draw back up to 3.
Yep. Thank you for the reminder.
Okay, so you have 2 cards left, and you're gonna have 1. Okay,
Yes.
so at least that'll. Okay, and then you have Good thing you gained health last time, so you could go down to 6.
Yeah.
All right, and then I get pushed down 2. And when I get pushed down 2, if I land on a yellow or red, do I have to resolve that right away?
Yeah. Yep. If you get pushed into bad terrain, it's gonna hurt.
Okay, let me look at my cards here.
Is there any way you could break that 4 on your turn? Do you think?
Yeah.
Because if you can break that 4 on your turn, I can finish the game on mine.
Okay, I can play I can play Back in My Day. Wait, what color is that dice that I have? White. So discard 1 card. Let's see, it'd be 1, 2, and then diagonal. So that's 1, 2, oh, and then diagonal. Mushroom. And then I'd have, so it'd be 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Oh, I might be 1 short, because if I'm at this mushroom, it would take me 2 moves to get to that 4, right?
You could glide.
And glide is 1. Okay, then I think I could do it. So
Sweet.
I would play this one for no skill effect, which when I fall, when I get pushed down 2, I won't get affected by the red or the yellow. And then I'm going to play wall jump. I'll bring it up here. And this is going to go 1, 2. Oh, discard 1 card from your hand. Well, then I'm not going to do that. And then, oh, but if I glide, it's 1. Okay, well, I'm going to take that, take the mushroom, plus 2 grip. Let's go. So what do I do if I use that right now? Wait, how much grip do I have left? I have 2 left. Okay, how do I do this? Do I discard 1 from my hand first because that was the instructions on the card?
So you discard 1 card, so that would actually be 1 from your hand. You could get rid of this card.
Okay.
To do that. So you've spent wall jump. You're going to the green space.
Do I have to play it from my hand?
Yes. So you
Okay.
played wall jump for the skill effect. You used the discard effect to get even further on your wall jump, and you picked up the mushroom. So all that stuff is resolved. All these cards are now in your discard pile. You spent them.
Okay.
Do you want to eat the grip mushroom and use your imagination for or whatever the mushroom does to help you?
Whoa. We eat normal mushrooms around here. We're family friendly.
Maybe the mushroom's just really sticky and you use it to Spider-Man your way around. I don't know.
Okay, so let me eat the grip mushroom last.
Yep.
So I'm gonna use glide, and glide is 1.
Yep.
Okay, and now I have 3 action points left, but I have heavy strike because I'm fixed +1 to your strike. So now I'm gonna do strike 4 total. Knock that one out of the ballpark. And then I'm going to add 2 to my hand. And so do I take it from the discard pile?
Yep. So you'll shuffle your discard pile. I flipped it over for you.
Okay.
And then just take 2 cards and put them under your deck.
Under my deck?
Yep. Yeah, whenever you're recovering cards, whether you rest or recover grip like that, we have you put it under your deck just so that you're cycling through and seeing the cards more and more and more.
Okay.
Pulled that one out of a really, really fun co-op game called Regicide, I think.
Okay. All right. So did that, and now I have to take push 2 down, -1 health for everyone, and -1 grip.
Ow.
And when I did that, I got pushed down 2, and I landed on yellow, but I haven't discarded this yet. So this is still in effect. So I ignore the yellow, and now I discard and draw back up to 3. And I have 3 cards left. But you said you're going to finish the game, so.
Important note. There is a rule when you're drawing cards called hanging by a thread, where you are not forced to draw the last card if you don't want to. Because, of course, if you drew it right now, you would immediately fall.
Oops. Okay. Well, then I'm going to hang by a thread, and I'm not going to fall. Because I would fall all the way down to the bottom.
Yes, you would. Cool. All right, my turn. I took my damage.
Real quick question.
Yeah, sure.
So it says discard and draw, and I discarded my ignore all the red and yellow and blight and all that. However, if I fell because I drew back up, that card would be discarded already, so I would have to resolve the red. Okay, just checking. All right.
Okay. It's my turn, and we have just this 2 left. I don't have anything to protect me from the blight on it, but this is the end of the game, so I will play Ride the Wind for 4 action points. I will spend 2 of them to break this crystal. Technically, I take a blight, but it doesn't matter because we have won the game.
Man, okay, wait. Where was the dice? Was at what number? I missed it. It was at 2. Okay, it was at 2. Backtrack. You took the blight, but it doesn't matter because you didn't overlap because your health was high enough, and you were able to crush the last crystal. So that was amazing. Good job. Let's go. Hey. So
that was an incredibly smooth game of Sentinel.
Yeah, we got the Sentinel under control. The Sentinel opens its eyes wide. It's like a fog lifted, and it can see clearly, and it looks around and realizes, oh, I'm actually happy to be here. I love where I am.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you, friends. I just got a scary sound alert right when I was saying that. From Slivers, 100 biddies saying GG's. Thank you for the GG's, Slivers. And here we go, rescuing another Leviathan. We saved the day. And now Sentinel is going to go around with us and help us rescue other Leviathans.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So I know there was a question earlier of do the Leviathans have like a relation to the other Leviathans, and you said not this time, right? Like there's no correlation between them.
Yeah, there's some thematic links between them, like some regions of the wilds that they share, that certain ones are from, which is slightly alluded to in the little bit of story text that we have for the game.
Okay.
So.
All right. So that was actually it for this game, and I know that we could play another round because we have time, but also you have worked really hard this whole day, and I think I should let you rest. But before we do, I wanted to, let's see. I actually lost my mouse. Oh, here we go. Just give me 1 second here, because I wanted to share something. While we were playing the game, guess what? We hit $72,000. Nice. We passed the 70K mark. Let's go. Leviathan Wilds is now funded, well, not all the way, but not done funding, sorry. $72,051. Let's go. That's amazing during this stream. So I think it was at 69,000 before we started the game.
Excellent.
And how long did the game take? Maybe an hour?
Yeah.
It was an hour.
Yeah, it was. I think we got through the explanation and then just kind of breezed through it in a little less than an hour. So yeah.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. So tips for anyone else who might launch a Kickstarter in the future. Do you have any tips for anyone of like, drink water, get enough sleep, or forget sleep, just make sure the Kickstarter is fine? Like, what do you have any tips for anyone?
Build your crowd. That's
okay.
A big one. Build your crowd ahead of time and try to find good community members who can help you make it better.
Okay.
And like listen to them and find the right ways. Just keep working, keep making your game better and better and better. That's really what's gonna help it sing in the final analysis. So
okay.
Build crowd, make good game.
All right. Well, that is so exciting. Thank you so much, Justin, for even though on day one of this Kickstarter, you took the time to be on this stream and just showcase what the game has and what's new about it, and also answer people's questions in chat. Thank you, chat, for being here and for seeing what's new about this game. And I hope that you back it. I hope that you enjoy the game. And again, if anyone has any questions, probably the quickest way would probably be your Discord, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're really active on there. There's other community members who'll be able to help you out if we're off writing updates and all sorts of stuff. So
okay. And if anyone wants to play the game with their friend, you saw how it was played today. Maybe you learned right away how to play the game. You can actually play it just like I did today. The Steam link is right there, and it's going to be on TTS, right? So you need to own TTS on Steam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the TTS mod has 14 of 15 Leviathans in it. So if you really just want to see like, okay, I got to see what this entire game is all about here, you can jump in, you can check them out. They're all fully playable. Some of them are in a little bit more of a sketch phase artistically, but they still look incredible, or we wouldn't really show them. So yeah.
Also, don't forget, if you sign up, you said if you sign up for the emails, right? Or it says, the mutation pack is given as a free upgrade for all backers at the core game pledge level who subscribe to the Leviathan Wilds newsletter. So you have to pledge and you have to sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah.
So, and that's on the Kickstarter page right now. I'm reading it right here for those of you who've backed. Make sure you're not going to get it. You're not going to get this mutation back for free unless you subscribe for a newsletter. Okay. So backing and subscribing, two things, no confusion. So that's the mutation pack there, which is super cool. So, all right, I'm going to switch to the main screen here. Okay, so Justin, do you have anything you want to share with the community? Maybe some exciting news for the Kickstarter now that it's, 72,000. Is there anything you can maybe like sneak peek provide? Any news updates, anything like that while I find someone to raid?
I really just want to say thank you to everybody who came out and supported us so quickly. The launch last time around didn't go the way we wanted, and within 2 hours we had already exceeded the entire thing of what we made last time. So it has been an absolutely incredible difference, and a lot of that just comes from excited community members. So thank you so much. I'm really hoping that as early as tomorrow we can reveal some of my favorite stretch goals in the entire thing. And I'll tease just slightly here that one of them is a brand new Leviathan, which would bring the count up to 16. And it is the coolest Leviathan in the game, I think. Or will be.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see it. Slivers go scream! Yay! Okay, well, thank you for telling us that. That is so exciting. All right, so I think today, again, thank you, Justin, so much. I hope you get a wonderful rest, good night's sleep tonight. You know, you got to be energized. Just take care of yourself. We're gonna raid early tonight. All right, here we go, everyone. Bye.